All right, so this is a KTA-600 that we're replacing the #1 bearing in. When we took the oil pan down to fix an oil leak, we discovered that it had a broken main bolt. Later in the video, we'll show you the broken main bolt, and we'll show you the damage to the pan that came as a bit of a surprise. What we have now is, as you can see right here on this #1 journal, we've already removed the upper main bearing along with the main cap, which looks a lot like this. These would be the main bolts. So I'm going to clean this journal back up. I'm going to put some lubriplate assembly lube on the main journal bearing, and then roll that back in there. If I'm lucky, I'll be able to roll it in without having to turn the crank. If not, we will rotate the crank and we will turn the bearing in. If you're wondering about the perspective, it's because the engine is still in the truck. So this is how you do it in an in-frame procedure versus out of frame, where you can rotate the crank freely while it's sitting on the deck. Also, if you'll notice, and it may be hard to see at this camera angle, we'll take some other photos, that this, what they call the spacer here, is actually half of the block and half of the oil pan. So the KT series has that unusual feature that most engines do not, of having half a block and half of an oil pan built into each other. So just go ahead and watch as we get the bearings out. And then, like I said, I use lubriplate, assembly lube. All the
6.0 top bearing.
Yes, I believe the 6.0 is the top bearing. We will check. So when you go to look at your top bearings, a lot of them, the boxes will come and look like this. You can see part numbers, and then it'll come. Here, I'm going to do an unpacking. As you can see, the boxes are kind of flimsy. They're packed with a lot of tissue paper. And for as much as these bad boys cost, they should. They also come in this wrapping that's also water resistant. If you look at this bearing right here, you'll see that it's smooth. That indicates that this half of the bearing actually goes into the main cap. So we'll hand that back over there, and then we will get the other bearing, which is this one, as you can see with this part number. And we'll open it up. I'm going to just open it up where it's closer to me so I can see. And for all you folks out there that are like, oh my God, he's wearing gloves. Yes, I do wear the gloves. Because, well, prolonged exposure to petroleum products is probably not the best for you. It's not going to hurt you in short bursts, but over time, yep. And if you look at this, you'll be able to see the hole. Upper main journal will have the hole where the block comes up. You'll see this ridge in here. This ridge is where the oil comes through under pressure. And then if you look at the end, you'll actually see a little notch right here. And this notch fits up into the block where it's notched. And that's what locks it into position when you roll it in. So I'm going to get a little bit of lubriplate. And then go ahead and just put it in amply. It's all right. A little grease won't hurt. What will hurt more than a little bit of grease is a dry start. So a dry start is when you put an engine together, you don't have any lube in there, and then things tend to like to lock up. But my guess is, if you're looking at this on YouTube or one of the other channels, you will be already at least familiar with basic engines. So some of this stuff is assumption that there is prior knowledge. So you always want to make sure things are as clean as possible. And again, here's some old lubriplate. I did try at an earlier time to put a bearing in that was supplied to me by Cummins. It was supposed to be for this engine. Turns out the Cummins sent me a 20 over standard bearing shell. So as we tried to roll it in, it wouldn't go in because it was too thick. So you always want to check them, and you can use a micrometer, preferably, or calipers if you know, one of those two, that that you have the proper bearing. If they're the same bearing number, they should be correct. So the way that you get this in, like this, all right, do you have the, we need to bar the engine back a little bit to put the pin in it. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to put a pin in the oil galley and through the hole here to roll these back in. Sometimes you can get lucky and start them in. Sometimes you have to put a pin in them and then start rolling them back in the block when they're in the truck like this. If this was out of the truck and upside down on its deck, you would just have the crankshaft out, put all the main bearing caps in with lube, then set the crank gently in it and whatnot.
Ready?
Yep. So the reason that we wound up taking this number one cap out is, like I said, we had an oil leak down here. When we pull the pan down, and we can show you the pan here in a little bit, it's actually a two-piece oil pan. Technically, it's three-piece because they call this piece part of the oil pan, but it's also the lower half of the engine because motor mounts come. Hold on. Okay, I need you to go opposite rotation there a little bit, bud. Either that or go ahead and come around if it's easier for you to pull that way. Let's come around 180 degrees. Go ahead and keep going the way you were going. That seems to be easier. Yep, go ahead. Hands are out of the way. So part of the reason it's so hard to bar the engine around is because it has, I'm just going to wipe up this crank a little bit as it comes around. Go ahead and keep coming around. Okay, stop. No. Let's see here. All right, so let's go forward a little bit. Stop. Hand me that pin, please. It's sitting on that little step over there.
Sorry, I need to go what?
The pin, that stainless steel pin. Got it. So for a pin, you can use a stainless steel screw. And what you do is you gently put it in the oil hole of both the crank and the bearing. And I know there's some people that are like, no, you never do that. Yeah, you can do that. As long as you don't damage the bearing, you're fine. All right, come gently up to it. Easy. Okay, we've got a hold of the. Go ahead and come easy now. Nope. Isn't it? Um, hand me that little screwdriver, please. So then we want to put. Sometimes you have to help get them started. Put this in this hole over here to help you work them in initially to get them started. Can you hold on a minute? Can you? I need a Phillips screwdriver, about the same size as this one. You there, bud?
Yeah.
Okay. So you got to be careful that you don't scratch the crank, because even though the crank is a hard surface and the bearing is soft, you can still put scratches in it, which is not good. You don't want to go in. Well, ain't that nice? Go ahead and rotate the crank a little bit. Go ahead and try and rotate it. Okay, so that makes sense, except it don't. Do me a favor. I need you to bar that engine over the opposite direction. Hold hold it right there for a second. Let's see what that does for us. Yep. Okay, so sometimes if you get one that's particularly stubborn, you will see that I had Xander go the opposite direction. And the reason for that is, and just so you guys know, I do have several clean rags sitting on me so I can keep all this stuff clean when I set it down and put it back in there. On this stuff, you want to keep it as clean as possible. So as you can see, I'm actually able to rotate this bearing around by hand. And that's the other reason why you want to lube it so well, is because you're trying to turn it in by hand. Okay, Xander, come on and turn it, not the opposite way, but the first way you were turning it.
Opposite of running, got it.
Okay, come easy on it. Can you turn it at all there?
It's a little stiff.
Yeah, this might get a little stiff now too. Okay, so if you see it's turning in, so you pull it out when you get to the point where it's tight, because as it comes up again, what you're going to do is you're going to take your pin, go ahead and keep coming up to it. You're going to take your pin, grab the hole, leave it out, and you're like, that's a screw. Yes, that's a screw. Go ahead and come up. The reason it's taking them a while to bar it around is because the heads are still on this engine, so it has to release its compression and all the rest of that. All right, go ahead and come easy. And you can see right there, it's a marked upper on these, and then you can see the notch that's going to fit in the engine over here. Go ahead. Keep coming. Keep coming. Keep coming. Easy. 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 And then again, you can see the lubricate on the crank. That's fine. You want to keep that there, because it shows that you do have some lubrication for the start. So go ahead and come forward a little bit more. Go ahead and come a little bit more. A little bit more. And stop. Back up. Actually, yes, back up just a touch if you can. Okay. So their pin came out, fell to the ground. That's all right, as long as it's not in the hole. You're golden. And then you just make sure that everything up here is nice and level on both sides. And you can see that the upper main cap is fit well in the journal. And with its notch in the block right there. And then you have this over here. Now you're like, hey, you said you should keep the lubricate on there. Right, I did. We will add more lubricate to the lower main bearing. So we're gonna
Here's the cap.
we're gonna put the main bearing cap in, which just clips in into the cap, and then we're gonna add some.
Just presses in.
Yep. You might just roll it in a little bit. It'll just roll in just a little bit, and then lube it up. Because remember, people, with enough lube, you can stick anything anywhere, and it won't seize up. And then what we need is just a little bit of light oil, motor oil, either on the threads and then on the washers of those main bolts. By light motor oil. Oh.
Yeah, I don't. There's something in there that started leaking. That wasn't leaking.
Oh, look! I just took a bath in the oil with what was left in the oil pump. Isn't that fun?
Strange definition.
Dude, really?
It's right there. What do you want me to do?
That's nasty.
You just don't like being caressed that way.
Not by my kid. No, that's creepy. All right. Do we have everything lubed up-ish?
I got the bolts lubed up. I got the bearing cap lubed up.
All right, hand me the cap.
There's the cap. I don't know if it's facing the right way or not.
Oh, we'll get it facing the right way. All right, so if you look at the cap, you can see the cap coming into the picture. The little black spot right there is just a little bit of used motor oil. A lot of these caps will have a forward and back marked on them. This one doesn't. So usually the notches go opposed to each other so they don't start spinning in the engine. All right. So Xander,
Yeah.
I need a bolt now. So here's the main bolt. And like I said, we put a little bit of light oil. The white stuff you see on the bolts right there is the lubricate. Sorry about the camera shake, folks, because, well, I'm bumping the camera. Not a lot of room under here. Okay. Let's get that other bolt. And here comes the other bolt. Now, a lot of people will have gotten the impact gun right about now. To run these up. I don't ever recommend putting rod or main bolts in with an impact. Now, if you've got like a Caterpillar engine or something where it's a torque and then 2 hexes or 3 hexes, depending on the number of bolts, that's different. And even the manufacturers a lot of times don't recommend doing that, but I understand if you're under there and you don't have a long 3/4 inch ratchet and somebody to help you pull. So, Xander, let's, whenever you're ready to start pulling the ratchet, buddy.
Oh, you need that.
Yeah, we're getting ready. It's that time.
That's time.
That time.
Okay. Running or non-running?
No. It's time for the big stuff. You know. This is where you get to do all the hard work. Yeah, I just get to flap my gums and hold it up here. You get to actually pull. If you get a 1/2-inch drive socket and the ratchet, we can run these up here. There's quite a bit that need to be run up that are just a little bit tight for impact fingers. Believe it or not.
See if that'll fit in there for you.
Ow! Ooh, got the sweet spot on my finger. Yeah, I hit something. Hold on. That's a little too much stuff. All right, we'll just run this up here real quick. It's kind of tight quarters down here for this light and the ratchet and everything, but at least I can see what I'm doing.
Yeah, that is pretty bright, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it's actually kind of nice. Can actually see what I'm doing. For once, I'm not just feeling around in the dark. Like a teenager in the backseat of a car. Come on, man. Oh! So, with the left side, I was able to use impact fingers. Right side, not so much. Like I said, when we took this apart, we found that the bolt that I'm actually putting in right now, the head of the bolt had snapped off, and the bolt had worked its way out of the block and was resting on the pan, starting to hands cramping up. That will happen. Okay, so now that those are all contacted, you take a, by contacted, I mean they've made contact with the main cap. So you'll take them and just snug them up slightly with a 1/2-inch socket and ratchet. And the reason for that is because if there's any irregularities in the way it's going up, you'll be able to feel it. And if you notice, you can see that cap ever so slightly move around in there as it's working its way up into the block. And though they are a machined fit, there's just enough in there to gap to allow them to come out And so you can change the bearings, obviously, otherwise it would be quite a chore to do this. Not that it's, if you ever wind up doing this, you will find out that it's not hard, but everything fits together, or should fit together, quite snugly. If it's too loose, you've got other issues, and you may wind up having a resource, a block. Again, this engine has not been produced for for use in trucks for probably every bit of 30 years by now. At least better part of 25. Yeah, 25 is closer to more accurate. This particular truck that it's in is in a 78 Peterbilt 359 extended hood. Yes, it's got a 6 and a 4 on air ride. It's one of those unicorn trucks that everybody loves. Okay, so I've just snugged these up by hand. What we'll do now is we'll switch to the bigger 3/4 drive, and we will go through the torque sequence. Clean up some of this drippy on the pan rail here. And again, it seems like I'm always cleaning stuff, but cleaner you keep things, the better your result you're going to get. All right, Xander, whenever you're ready for the big guns.
Gonna rotate the steer tires left to right.
Yep, you're gonna move the steer tires? All right. And though you can't see it on camera, that we do actually have the truck up on jack stands, so we can get under it. Right, because you ate your Wheaties this morning. Oh wait, that's product placement. Sorry, we don't actually eat Wheaties. I think they do make Wheaties. I'm not sure what they make them out of, but I think they still make them. Do we have a next size down extension? Because this one is too long and you can't get it between the axle and the bolt. Let me go get that. Okay, here we go. Round 2, fight. Hold on a second. Are you going to push? Is that what you're going to do, or would you like to go to the other side and pull?
Oh. I have that ratchet set to on, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It feels weird because you're...
It just seems to be going a little easy.
Oh, wait. How embarrassing. No, let go of the ratchet a minute.
Yeah.
Okay, now it's set to on. Oops.
Probably my bad. That's
Okay.
195.
It's 195?
Yep.
All right. Go ahead. And 195. Go ahead, and now we go to 440.
Okay.
What?
Can you roll this thing over without hitting me in the face? Because all the markings are on the other side.
Yeah. Do you need to make it straight down?
No.
Because you can go there. Fortunately for you, I've got an axle over my face, so I'm protected from most of your shenanigans.
You got keep holding.
That was me talking too much smack.
Yep. Ooh, coming up to the big number now.
Is sure the lock's backed off? It shouldn't be that much.
Well, it was really easy in the beginning when we were only down to about 200 pounds.
Yeah.
I'm sure the lock's backed off.
Okay. What are we up to now?
Oh, we just made 450.
Okay. Now I got to find the socket that decided it was leaving. Didn't want to come to work today.
Okay.
It's probably underneath the middle of the other truck that's sitting right next to me.
No. It's hiding in all lights and camera equipment.
No, we better not hit on it.
Want some more camera shit because I bumped the tripod. Look, okay.
It's all right. It's good for it.
Hope you guys aren't seasick.
It weeds out all the people that get seasick real easy.
You ready?
All right. Yep. It's going to be a big pull.
Yep. That's 450.
All right. Now we're going to go to the next one. Okay.
Oh boy. Guess what? Now we get to do it again.
Now we get to
Take it off.
loosen them up. Go ahead. Can you push? Hold on. Ow! I have my finger between there. Hold on.
I'm just holding the end so it doesn't smash your fingers again.
Okay.
At least I'm going to smash my fingers.
No, nobody needs the fingers smashed.
Okay. Just don't forget, they're going to make us two-step it again.
Yeah, I know.
Mind your fingers.
Okay, stop. Go ahead and go down to the 190.
Yep. Old torque wrench is off stubborn today.
It sounds like it's dragging like the lock is.
Nope, that's the lock set. Lock's definitely unlocked. You need to look.
What? What are you doing?
I need to set it to 195, but I can't see the numbers.
Okay. All right.
They only put one side. I figured they put numbers on both sides, you know?
No, this is a 3/4 inch torque wrench. And
You're supposed to know what side you're on.
no, they figure you're working on it from the top down, not the bottom up. So.
Well, you know. Sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do. Okay, that is 195 again.
Great. Now I got to find the socket again.
Okay. That's a new one. Right under the tire.
Of course. Where else would it be?
Hold it. Keep your hands straight. There you go. Keep your hands straight.
Okay.
Shouldn't it be a push to?
I thought it was a pull. And it seems like it's getting tighter.
Yep, you're right. It was a pull. Didn't turn around too many times.
Yeah. All right. Guess what you get to do now?
No, yeah, gotta cut that out. Oops. That was a no-no. I did the first no-no.
I'm sure I did some no-nos in there too. Jesus. This socket is really aiming for my head today.
Mechanic life, hashtag. I've done that one backwards, but you know, kids will get it. Someone's kids. Woo, almost there. Keep.
A little bit more.
Yep.
Come on. You can do it, Xander. You can do it all night long.
Kids, you need a fucking arm workout. Find yourself a
Yeah, you're gonna be editing out all those naughty words. Are you gonna be
fudging? I said fudging.
Yeah, you didn't.
Yeah, I did. Okay.
Well, at least your shirt's not sticking full of oil. Because that feels good.
Okay. Where'd you land this time, Mr. Soft?
I don't know. It went towards the front of the truck.
Oh.
Where did it go this time? We're going to start playing socket bingo.
No, it's back in the fucking tripods again.
We're going to start playing betting on socket bingo. Pick a square and we'll see where it lands. All right. Put on your war face because here comes 450. Careful. One more. There you go.
So it's feeling close.
Come this way a little bit. All right.
Also, well, if you need workout tips, just do this all day. Rowing machines don't work.
Yeah, you can do this all day, and then you can try out for the rowing machine.
Rowing team, you do in college.
Exactly. Thank you for finishing that for me because I couldn't get it out of my face. Okay, so while we're under here, we're going to check the rest of these to make sure they're at 450. Just because the other ones broke off, and
okay.
Might as well before we put the torque wrench away if we can.
We are getting set.
Okay. One. Good. Come on. We don't need these technical difficulties here.
Music.
Do. Wait. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
You hit it by socket.
Oh, I'm sure it feels good, especially in the face. Okay. That one was a little loose, huh?
Was it? It moved?
Yeah, it looked like it moved. That one felt like it moved too.
Remember, kids, when torquing to 450, use the vehicle to your advantage. Try on all kinds of springs.
Yeah. You're up against two.
Oh, this one's gonna be shitty.
Pooch.
That'll work. You're a little guy, like some people. You don't know one.
You pull it back. Pull it back. Back.
I can't go back. Too much far back. Shut up, man. Oh.
Okay. There you go. Yep. We've only got 12 more to go.
Right above the oil pump. Right below the oil pump. It had one last little surprise for you.
Yep, thanks. Okay. Here.
Ready?
Yeah.
Oh, I found potentially our next YouTube video.
Oh, look.
That tire how it ends is wiped the fuck out. I don't think they're supposed to move that much.
Oh, that way? Yeah, they can move that way. Okay. Good enough.
Good enough?
Good enough.
Okay. Got any closing statements for the audience?
So, we're going to call it good for right now. Our next video will be follow up to this one, where we'll show you what the pan looked like when it came out, and then we're going to clean up the pan and the pan rail and reinstall the oil pan, put oil in it, and fire the old girl up. Thanks for tuning in, and give us a like, a share, and please subscribe to our channel.